Welcome to Zisodel TV. Kindly subscribe, share, and like for latest updates and news.
What would you have done better? Because the young people are listening. It's big on their hearts, and so they want you to speak to them as their chief executive officer, how you would have handled their agitations perhaps better, because they felt that you put them in a very precarious situation, and that there's some errors that you denied that actually happened. And the second part of that question is on security. A few minutes ago, you talked about the fact that with the security, you didn't attend debates for that. However, many Lagosians can't say that. They are on the streets of Lagos and they're afraid, and unlike you, sir, they don't have the security protection that your office offers. So do you think security has fared better in the 4 years of you being governor? And how better would you handle security in Lagos?
I would have wanted a longer time to explain, because you've touched on very critical things. My role played, lessons learned, absolutely. There's no leader that will, worth his while, that will not do, a forensic analysis of what happened. But if you want to, for once, just drop it, right, and do a role play, put yourself in my situation and, just watch and not listen to what I think I want to hear, but hear what truly actually happened, and not just social media, In fact, the NSAS had started almost 3 weeks before that incident of October 20. Almost 3 weeks. So it had built up, in itself in various locations. People have come to some certain locations as a place where they can always aggregate on a daily basis. I was the first governor that went there to meet with them nationwide. It didn't start in Lagos, but when it got to, I was the first, right? Waters and all sorts. That's the price of leadership. I was one that took the 4-4 or the 5-for-5 to Mr. President with pictures, with everything. I was the first that set up, right, a fund for people that were either had been molested by police to come forward and get restitution, right? I was the first. I was the first that set up, a tribunal and a panel. In all of these things, I was the first. Move forward. The incident on that night happened. I was in my house with some cabinet members when it happened, so we didn't have an idea at all. In terms of the question they asked, who ordered the shooting, and also who ordered for a CPS not to listen to me when I went to Magodo the other day. So you can see who ordered that. We had election last Saturday. There were more military out there, than police. Who ordered? It's not in my remit. It's not in my space. But if we just drop it for 1 second and just do a role play, right, and ask what were my own actions before, during, and after. I went out that night. I went to all the hospitals, that we could have patients. I went out at 12 midnight, right, that night, and I saw things for myself. And I reported what I saw. 8 o'clock the following morning. At 10, 11 o'clock, things could have changed. But I reported what I saw, right? And I would not deny what I didn't see to what the people want me to say. And I want to speak to the youth and say that, indeed, I am a father. I'm a leader. I'm a man that truly understands the pain that parents bear, the challenge that you have as a young person. I have been a starter myself. At 25, I owned a small company that crashed at 26. I've lost money before. I understand what it is for a young person to be out there sweating yourself out and not being able to meet up what it is. So I will be the least person that will disenfranchise or that will mess them up. So the lessons and the learning of NSAS is not lost on me. Will we do a few things differently? Yes, we will, right? But I just need to say that we need to leave this idea around there was a big bust that happened. No. And one other thing, right? All of the people, and I'm saying this for the first time on national TV, all of the people that claim that they were either injured or they were affected in one form or the other, I, Jide Sanwo-Olu, have reached out to them and I've supported, I've given them jobs, I've given them empowerment, I've given them things for them to start with. And that's why you don't see anybody during this campaign trail coming out to say that I was an NSAS event, I lost something, and because I have taken it up, and I feel that is not a thing for the papers. That is something for me as a father, as a leader, to do for them and clear this hair around it. Don't forget, it was 2022 that we had COVID. I lost citizens. After that event of 2020, it's October, in December, we lost the highest number of fatality on COVID based on all of the things that happened. We lost 7, 8 professors in 1 week. And so let's be big and see the bigger picture, right? And people have asked me, what are the things, that always bleeds your heart when you wake up? Is the fact that my young kids, my unicorns, my self-start young people do not do a role play for 1 second. Don't put things in your head that this is the only way and that's what has happened. No, just for 1 second, drop it and do a reflective mode and play it back. It wasn't a flash incident. It was an incident that has piled up for 3 weeks. For 3 weeks. And for whatever reason, I didn't have control. I don't control the police. I don't control the media. We've still on the conversation. Just to do state police, we've been on it for 3-4 years. We've been on it. And to answer your second question on security, that has been. I was, and almighty Dr. Ruben is here. We were both on the first board of the Lagos State Security Trust Fund. I was one of the people that set it up. And that has been a model that is helping us to fully equip the Lagos State Police Command, including buying diesel, buying fuel, buying everything for them. At some point, I had to buy ammunition for them just to keep them safe. Vehicles, those runs into hundreds. That's a minimum I can do. Encourage them, but for them to do the policing, that's their role, right? And for as long as it's still a national, health agency with just a small dotted line with me, there's not a lot that I can do.
At this point, well, so much to talk about, but we would like to thank you for joining us on the morning show, Governor Jide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos State. We'll take a short break now, and when we return, we'll be talking to Asari Dokubo, former Niger Delta militant.